Oh, I don't have a stream.
We're gonna roll, y'all. We're gonna do this thing. Hello. All right. All right, dudes. So, where were we? I'm not even in the right place. Let me scroll over. Where the hell are we? We're way over here. Yeah, let's have. So we're gonna do some downtime for Heracles. But why don't you jerks fill us in on what happened last time?
Mm, it was very complicated, actually. Would you like to start?
I don't know how complicated it was.
Okay, basically, me and Charlie, or Chucks, managed to hire a couple hirelings. That's
Okay,
how it started.
that's right.
Two Octans, two people from the Osterman Empire. Lovely people, don't get me wrong. Uh, Mercenaries. Did they mention mercenaries before? Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, we got these two guys rolling with us, and then we tried to get somewhere. And hilarity ensued.
Hilarity ensued. That's right. There was a bit of a kerfuffle in the town of Hikerton. Um,
Oh yeah, something related to stolen swords. Basically, we got a hike, like a ride from a few trade caravan. They even found space to put Louis, and we're passing through a small village or a town. I don't remember the name. I can't see on Roll20 because still fucking loading.
yep, it was
Uh,
Hikerton. Hikerton was the town.
Hikerton. Yeah. So basically, what happened is we people thought we had stolen swords, but we hadn't, and we recovered the swords. But by the time we came back, I had to kill a person. It's not my fault.
Hold
It
on.
happened.
Hold on. There was some glossing that happened in the middle there.
Just a bit.
Chuck, fill us in what happened after the swords got stolen. What were you. First of all, perish the thought that somebody would think that you two were thieves. But, Chuck, what were you doing while he was wandering in the markets? Were you helping old ladies across the street? Were you.
Oh, me and Louis, we was going for a stroll around the town looking for like a snack.
A snack, yeah, like some street food, like some tacos, or.
Well, like what they call the cocker spaniels.
Right, you're right, you're right.
Louis, he likes to snack on the yeah.
Yeah, so
Fresh food.
you were trying to murder somebody's pet. You didn't care who, it was just somebody's.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened, Chuck? Alright, I'll stop leading the witness.
Yeah, I was about to say. Uh, so like we went and Louis he got a good instinct for the hunting because he a gator
Mhm.
and we found like we was walking around the city and Louis he decided to go and find the whatever.
A detour. He took a detour.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
sometimes when you a gator, you take detours. It's a gator thing.
Yeah, when you're a wild animal, sometimes you run off into the wilderness and do crazy things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like so basically, all that really happened is that me and Louis solved the crime. We
Okay.
done we did find who took the swords.
That's right.
But then when we was interrogating them about the frog sticker thievery, that hairy ass Noel and his band of ruffians, they done killed him. Cause they ain't no good at paying attention, and they interrupt Charlie's interrogations.
Yeah. So you found the thieves in their hideout in a muddy hovel someplace, and you were in the middle of finding out some information from them. They were spilling the beans, but the hirelings, Bamin and Philmont, shot them dead on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then as they said, hilarity ensued as they wandered back to town, and there was there were some problems. They weren't greeted as heroes. They were greeted as suspects or something. Something happened with the hirelings where they got into a fight with people in town. The blacksmith was killed, and Gorrlin ate his head in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
And then we fled the scene. I'm saying all of this. Just to remind us that we're probably going to have a warrant for our arrest in the future. For troubles we've committed. You're all completely aware of that. You murdered a bunch of people and then fled the scene. Whether or not you were guilty of anything, and to be fair, you were guilty of some stuff. You're aware that there will probably be hell to pay for that in the future. But that's not where we're going to start out. We're going to start out with Heracles. Heracles is coming off a very different sort of adventure. Heracles, we're going to go into your downtime and fill us in on where you're coming from and how you've come to this opportunity or this adventure, basically.
So Heracles was down over by the Deathfrost Sepulchre in Potter's Field. Rayland, a little paladin boy, was sent on a mission to kill a necromancer for the god of death. And Heracles, wanting to be the kind of person to defy death and piss off the gods, went along with it. Shenanigans ensued, and Heracles, Rayland, Kalana, and Palladus Drago ended up in the sepulchre. They delved into the dungeon, and they found the necromancer. But along this way, Heracles became the leader of the Deathfrost nomads. And with that, he became cursed and could not leave to bring Nerith to justice. So on his behalf, Palladus Drago, Raylan, Kalana managed to talk the Lich Lords into sparing him, lifting the curse. At any moment, the curse could be put back on him, and he could be locked in the Deathfrost for eternity, undying for the rest of his days. Oh, what a horrible fate. But so the first thing he had to do, being trapped in those dungeons, trapped in those places, is go back to Cecily, and be amongst his people again. And that's where he got wind of all the things that happened recently. The attacks on the Color Dancers, this secret rebellion that happened, and the legends of Gorrlin and the other new initiates to the sacred temple. And he heard about Gorrlin going down to these swamps on behalf of a another member called Guava. And I think Heracles sees this as an opportunity to seek more adventure and be around his people. Maybe he doesn't understand that Gorrlin is not from Sistan and thinks he's embraced it completely. But he feels more at home going with the Sistani people from Sistan.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so we'll start your downtime in Sesson. How do you live while you're in Sesson?
I live on the streets.
You live on the streets, okay.
Out in the woods and the wilderness.
Yeah, is that because you're super tough and hardcore, or because you melted all of your money?
Both.
Both. Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, good. So you're gonna sleep on the streets. That means you spend no coins. It doesn't cost anything to be homeless. At least not money. And you roll plus nothing.
Cool.
All right.
Beautiful. Perfect.
All right. You shall mark XP. And on a miss, you are unlucky, cursed, or caught in some sort of vicious cycle of poverty and violence. I think you check off all three of those boxes. And you choose two options from the Trouble in the Streets list.
So I think right off the bat, let's make a new enemy, right?
Oh. Okay, let's make a new enemy. Sounds good. What enemy are you making?
So I think, yeah, and maybe this kind of ties into like why I wasn't with them. Because of like the attacks that happened on the school and all this stuff, Gorrlin making this call, a bunch of adventurers and such came here, and there was this big guy, huge, like he covers a goddamn doorway. His name is Brotok.
Brotok.
He comes from like the north, icy area. Big, like, fur wearing motherfucker. Him and Heracles get into a fight. Heracles, being like full of himself and arrogant, thinks he could handle this. And Brotok busts Heracles the fuck up. It's like in a bar, and they break the chairs, the walls. He gets thrown out a window several times. And at the end, Heracles is just knocked out, broken, bleeding. I'm gonna give myself a debility from that fight.
Oh. We're getting a lot of background noise, Enrique.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
Let me...
Okay, yeah. So you had a throwdown, drag out fight with Brotok, and he beat you. He beat you up. And what debility did he give you?
I am weak.
Wow. So he kicked your ass straight up.
Yeah.
So this is a scary dude.
Yeah. Big dude, scary dude, like where Heracles will. This guy like took a punch to the face from Heracles, no joke. And when Heracles went and like picked him up and threw against the wall, this guy just hit the wall and bounced back, and just fucking every hit to Heracles just threw him to the ground. This guy was Heracles was not in his own league with this guy. That's how fucking brutal this motherfucker is.
Okay. All right. So there's a scary monster man who beat up Heracles. And he got a debility from it. He's been hurted. All right. Well, Heracles, so you heard about Gorrlin and Guaba and some chump named Nock, and heard about an adventure headed east to Fatalia, dealing with the people of Guaba, the Frogmen, who are apparently in some kind of a struggle with worm creatures. So, what do you do to prepare?
So I think the first thing, like, he's broken and beaten, so the first thing he has to do is like get some rest, go visit the Hikerton and try to heal up. But he has no money.
Yeah.
So broken, he's got to work a dangerous job.
Okay, he's going to work some dangerous work.
Yeah.
Okay. What dangerous work is available in Sesson?
So maybe it's this, or it could be something else. The Two Spirits Lake.
Yeah.
It's where they do the color, the washing off the colors of the beards.
Yeah.
But also, deep in like the middle of the lake are oysters and clams and other things that create precious stones.
Yeah.
And you have to dive in there and get them. Problem is, there's other wildlife there. And it's dangerous wildlife. You know,
Okay.
like strangling eels. Fucking weird shit.
Yeah.
Dragon turtles.
Okay, so you're in a struggle with dangerous wildlife. Fighting off all kinds of strange sea creatures to get at these precious clams. Yeah, because they have gem cutters. They have famous gem cutters in Sesson. So they have you gather the clams. Is it clams don't do pearls, do they?
Oysters do.
Now they're oysters. They're oysters now because I have decreed it. Also, that usually lives in salt water, but you know what? These are freshwater. These are special freshwater oysters, freshwater clams that grow pearls. It's a fantasy world. I can make things up as I go along.
Suck it, science.
Suck it, science.
Yo, I'm just saying they're totally freshwater oysters that have pearls. Anyway.
Suck it, fantasy. All right, thanks for that. Thanks for that zoological save after I had already spoken out of my ass, Mason. That was very helpful. But that's not the issue. The issue here, dude, are the sea creatures. So that's going to be a strength. That's going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay. So you get $50. Congratulations.
So, stop.
Yeah, so you're going to choose another option from the Trouble in the Streets list.
Well, I get in there, I'm like, my arm's broken and stuff, right? And
Oh,
then,
it's broken now. He broke your arm.
yeah, fine. Let's do it. We're scooping up these goddamn pearls,
Yeah.
and then I stay there, too long until it's dark. I get grabbed by like something. It keeps me in there. And it's over. I'm doing it over and over again, right? Fighting off these things all day just to make this 50 coin.
Yeah.
And you know what happens? I get sick, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard job diving in the lake. It's bullshit. All right, so now you're sick. Okay, so you've made money. You made $50 the hard way, and you're now set to go adventuring. But you've got one more hold left for downtime. How do you spend that last hold?
I fixed my broken arm.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds like a good idea at least. You can tank your character all you want, but you should probably at least be able to swing a sword because it's the only thing you're good for.
Nah, fuck it. I'll stuff another differently. What's that downtime?
Yeah, all right. So the doctor does set your arm and sends you on your way. So you didn't really do anything to prepare yourself for the journey. So you're just sort of what? You're just walking? How do you make your way to Fatalia? You've certainly heard that Gorrlin, by now you haven't heard of what happened in Hikerton, but you've heard that they did set out with a caravan, a trade caravan. So how do you set off?
Yeah, so I think first I go down to Ateb, right?
Yep.
Down to Ateb. And along the way, I don't prepare because I don't need to prepare.
Because you are
My
invincible.
God. Well, no, my God will protect me.
Oh,
I
your
get
god?
these 45. Yeah, my God, the God of Death, Dax Corvain.
Oh, you worship the god of death these days.
Oh yeah. He's just part of divine. Everything's
Right.
part of the divine. I get these 45 coins, stoke up a fire, and I melt it all.
Oh. So you are burning your money yet again. This sounds like sacrificing. For the blood god? Is that it?
No, I don't see it.
Oh no, you just have personal deity. Okay.
Yeah,
Or divine guidance.
I have divine guidance.
Ah, divine guidance.
So you are petitioning your deity according to the precepts of your religion. You are granted some useful boon, some useful knowledge or boon related to your deity's domain. And Dax loves money, and when you kill money, it goes to Dax, and you have killed money. You kill that money, and
How much loot does he get from defeating the money?
Yeah. Every coin has 1d3 coins. That's the trick. See, a lot of people don't know that. What useful boon or knowledge?
If I was Dex, I think about money-wise. Profit this kind of advantages. If I was him.
Yeah. Well, 45 coins, I mean, that's all the money you had, but it's still not that much. If you had, burned down your house, he might send you a ghost horse to ride on.
How many houses are in A10?
That's not sacrifice. Oh! Interesting question, though. I am going to give you useful knowledge. I do have useful knowledge for you. I have useful knowledge for you. Asking about Ateb and how many houses there are. I'm going to ask you a question first, Heracles. So you're not from... I mean, you're from around here, literally, right? But you're a barbarian, a stranger. Maybe even in your own city, considering that it nearly killed you just to live there for a week. But... yeah, I want to know something about your town. So, you seem to have a lot of pride in Cesson? Do you? Are you particularly patriotic?
Yeah, I think that's definitely why he's going with it too. Gorrlin being from Cesson, it's like that's all he needed. I've never met this person thing. I didn't ask for any merits. I didn't ask for who he knows. He is just from Cesson with the color dancers. Good enough for me.
So you were looking to make your home, the name of your home, a good thing, a powerful thing. Gather glory. The town guard in Ateb is different. It used to be soldiers from Cesson. They would be trained. They were trained by Sethlar, the Burning Spear. But as you've heard, Sethlar turned out to be a horrible traitor. He was killed by Gorrlin, as a matter of fact, in single combat. It was apparently an epic deed, to be sure. And he was using the town guard to do so. The town guard was utterly decimated in their attack on the Color Dancers. And in that time, the town guard has been replaced. The fort, Ateb is the fort. This is the place where you are. Ateb is a fort where the soldiers of Cesson gather. It's sort of a gateway to Cesson, right? It's just separated by the lake. And this is the dock where they keep their actual army. And they are under new leadership now. With the town guard gone, there was no protection for Cesson, and the Senate of Cesson made a deal. They secured a trade deal with the Ostman Empire. The Ostman Empire has roots similar to Cesson. They also worship the divine, though in a different way. It's weird. You're not really a theologian, so you haven't really looked into it, not specifically yet. But they have manned the fort with foreign soldiers. There's kind of a foreign legion sort of thing. These are mercenaries. There's a culture in Ostman of people who agree to be mercenaries to serve in foreign lands in order to gain glory and serve their lords. The emperor selects soldiers every year to do this sort of work. And they are called architons. All around you in Ateb are the architon. They are Ostman soldiers. They serve, of course, to defend the fort in Cesson, but first and foremost they serve to the glory of the Ostman Empire. The glory of the Ostman Empire involves protecting Cesson, so there you go. Useful boon or knowledge is that they're not totally neutral. You know these types. I mean, you probably are one of these types, mercenaries, etc. Yeah, they're here to protect the city, and they'll give their lives to protect their fort, but they're also willing to make a deal. And Dax loves to make deals. And there's a deal to be made here. And it's a deal in glory. You hear about a ship being sent down the river. The Ostman are going to send a few troops along with a caravan, etc., down to Fatalia. It's a trade vessel. And it's cheaper and safer to have someone like you go along. They'll hire you. You have to serve during your time in Fatalia. You'll have to serve. Well, you know what? We can figure that out, actually. We can do something with that when you try to talk your way into it. But yeah, you can join that ship. You might be asked to do things to help the mercenaries, but that's a very quick way to get downriver.
Cool. And just to be sure, because I'm looking at my folder, I do not have the Nomad tribe with me anymore, right?
No.
Okay.
They are definitely still trapped in the Deathlands.
Okay, because they're still in my folder.
That's fine.
The WWE.
I mean, when you go back to the Deathfrost Hills, you'll lead them again, right? If you ever go back there. So there you go.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd definitely make a beeline. Me and Baryon. We both make our way there.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna make your trip. Are you? I mean, you're offering yourself as a mercenary, basically.
Yeah, I'm walking up to them, me and a bright wolf. I look at them and I'm Heracles. I'm here to offer my services and those with me. Take a ride down in your ship.
Okay. Yeah, and the Ostmon soldiers, they're a rough-looking bunch, actually. They're not really wearing a uniform so much, but they apparently all have their own horses, and they have fine gear. And do you know what a rifle is, Heracles?
I've heard of them. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah. So you suss out pretty quick that a lot of them, most of them are wearing, this long-barreled rifle. And of course, you hear loud thunderclaps from the fort every now and then, and smoke clouds rising out as they are practicing with them. And the captain of this guard, there's only 6 mercenaries going on this ship, and it's a fairly large ship. There's probably including the trade people and the crew of the ship, there's probably about 50 people on the ship, but there's only 6 mercenaries. Only 6 Arctons. They consider that a full load. But you are asking to join them. And the captain, yeah, he has a lot of regalia on. He has really nice armor, and he's got a bunch of badges and not medals. He's not wearing his medals, but he has several badges pinned to his chest, as if he's not just a dude, right? This is like a knight or somebody. He's in charge of people. He seems important. Not just as the leader of this mercenary group, but as if he's an official representative of some kind. He seems a little overdressed to be leading 6 mercenary dudes down a river. But let's have you parlay with him. How do you present yourself and offer your services to this guy?
So I think how it starts is saying like, I offer me and people follow me, and they say, well, we're full up, ship's full.
Yeah.
So I make like the wager to them.
You make a
Well, if
wager.
you're one short, then you need one extra. If I could best one of your men, I'd take his place.
Okay, you want to best an Ostman soldier.
Shit, yeah.
Okay, let's see if you can best an Arcton. What kind of fight do they set up? Okay. Yeah, he's probably going to ignore you at first. But one of the soldiers like gives out a hearty laugh, and he basically begs this man to let him do this. And finally he submits. He says, "Fine, let's see it happen." Looking after the morale of the troops. And yeah, it's going to be a wrestling match. He's not interested in having you kill one of his soldiers accidentally.
That wasn't going to be an accident.
So let's have you get into some naked greased wrestling with one of these Arctons.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tell me about it. So I think they clear out a dirt area, and a crowd starts to gather, and they're all sort of cheering. And this guy takes off his armor and stuff, and it takes him a minute to get his stuff like off and situated. He's very finicky about his gear and stuff, right? He gets everything perfectly laid out. I mean, these are mercenaries, so everything he owns is his, and he has to maintain it. So he takes extra special care of it. How do you prepare for the wrestling match?
So like I take off all the pelts that I have, right? The lion pelt and the bright wolf pelts that I wear. Setting down like the dogtooth spear, and then the necklace of Vita, and then the amulet of death. Last, and like everything's just in a row.
Yeah.
Right behind it. And I think that's whenever I start like singing and dancing a little bit.
Okay.
Right before, when I'm ready, I just let out like this loud, like kind of yelp, cheer thing. Into the air.
So you do some ritual sing. Is this ritual singing, or you're just singing a song because you're happy?
It's definitely ritual singing.
Okay. All right, let's defy danger strength and have a wrestling match. The two of you circle each other, and there's some grinning between you, I'm sure. If he grins menacingly at you, you'll grin menacingly right back. And the two of you go charging in. Well, before we do strength, like how do you approach this wrestling match? Actually, he comes in broad shoulders. He looks like he's going to try and just overpower you. What do you do?
So, yeah, what I want him to do, like I put my hands out so he grabs it and pulls me in, because I know I'm stronger than him.
Okay.
I let him pull me in, so as soon as he does, then I let him know how strong I am. I grab him because I'm aiming to pick him up fully. I'm going to end it immediately as soon as it starts. Just pick this man up and just drop him on his goddamn head.
Okay. All right, that is defy danger strength. Yeah.
The Rileys.
Yeah, this guy, he grabs you and pulls you in, and he's still got the grin on his face until he feels your grip lay down on him. And he tries to, like, you know, toss you over when you move into the grapple, and then he looks worried because you don't move. You are a pillar of stone. And he can't just toss you over. And you lift this guy up over your head. Is Heracles, like, super tall?
He's kind of, yeah, he's a taller, big dude.
Okay, yeah. So this guy's a big guy also. You're both about probably the same height and build and stuff. But you lift him up like he's, you know, half your size. And there is, you toss him over and just plant him. And he's not hurt or anything. I mean, the wind is knocked out of him, but well, I mean, are you trying to hurt him? Or are you just trying to dominate him? You can have your call.
It's definitely more like dominating. Like, I want to drop him on his head, so everyone's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And just, as soon as he's dropped, just kind of lord over him, as if I'm about to, like, just drop him again.
Yeah. I mean, it's over in a second. You drop him, the air, he hits the way he lands, the air just shoots out of his body, and as he expels everything, everybody else gasps in, and it's over in a flash. You've just lifted this person and tossed them. Yeah, and everybody looks mightily impressed at Heracles' strength. So let's roll a parlay.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. You make it onto the ship. They let you come along. But there is a heavy stipulation. The general, his name is Masood. He says it's well enough for you to best a soldier in combat, but it doesn't make you useful to me. He says, what does he put you to? Okay, here's what he says. He says, you're from around here. You're Sasani.
Yes. One of the local tribes.
He says, okay. He says, there's going to be a meeting taking place. And you will serve as a bodyguard. He says, it's not because one of my soldiers can't handle it, but I think that it would be best to have a local along with me at this meeting.
This will give me passage to Petelia.
He says, yes, we will have you passaged on. Once you've served in the meeting, you can do whatever you like. The ship will be returning in a week. You can ride back. He says, but while you are serving under me, you are under my rule. You will do what I say. And any activity... Does he say it like that? Yeah. He's got you, like, cloistered away somewhere, and he says, and any activity shall not pass beyond the two of us.
I think that's when I stopped, because that's very veiled. Well,
Yeah.
What do you mean, activity?
He says, I am a soldier. And I am in the service of your city, Sazan, but I am also in the service of my emperor. You are not to speak of anything we do. I will be acting as an official representative. Yeah, he says these are Imperial secrets we're dealing with.
I do not care for your secrets. They will pass through me like the wind.
Okay. Yeah, he says, good. And, yeah, and he welcomes you aboard.
And my pet.
And your wolf, yeah. Yeah, he'll let the wolf on. They remind you to keep the
Then
wolf...
we eat them all.
They remind you to keep the wolf on a short leash, don't allow it to run wild, etc.
It replies to them. Does not wear a leash.
That's right, it's a bright wolf. Okay. Alright, so that's Heracles caught up. You'll be in Fatalia in a couple of days. We're going to jump back to the other two as they continue their journey and finish up in Fatalia also. But let's start with a break while Enrique is still getting his computer situation worked out.
Yeah.
So, say it with me. 5 minutes, y'all.